Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is May 15th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. There's the state of California, where I'm circling with my orange circle. You can see that there is a frontal system headed towards Pacific Northwest, and some of this energy is what's going to be our next system that drops down, what's known as an inside slider here across the southwest USA. We'll take a look at those details here as we go through the end of the week and towards the weekend, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as we go through the video here this morning. Lightning strikes over the last 24 hours. California, no strikes. Same thing for Nevada and Arizona. You got to go all the way towards Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, or Idaho to get in on any of that action. Take a look at the visible satellite imagery, kind of a mixed bag up and down the coastline, but a nice stretch north of the Bay Area is getting some nice sunny skies this morning, and some of Santa Barbara, Ventura County right along the coastline there is sunny as well. And of course, plentiful sunshine there across the interior areas, and you can see the snow-capped mountains that are the Sierra Nevada. Of course, there's Lake Tahoe, and there's Mount Shasta all the way towards northern California. Now, taking a look at where we are currently, we do have some gale warnings here for some of the coastal areas, the strong and north and northwest winds there, and some of that marine there. You can kind of see these funky colors out there. Some reduced visibility. If I click on that, and you can see some of these areas, that's about 5 miles visibility. If we go up towards San Francisco, looks like they're about 10 miles there, but there is a little bit of that marine layer hanging around, few at 600 feet, nothing too dramatic. Now, if you want to go to the Patreon page and send me some images that you get around your home, you can do so by clicking on the community tab. It is free to join and view things on the Patreon page here. But if you want to help support the channel, you can also do so as well. And also the Tempest Weather Station here, if you want to do your own lightning detection system and a great weather station for your own home, click on the link down below to save 10% off. Highly recommended. Now, looking at today, you can see no thunderstorm threat today, but day 2, they start to introduce this right across the Sierra Nevada there. So we're going to watch out for that. I'll show you the latest models on that here in a moment. And then our inside slider comes and starts to bring a little bit of increase in thunderstorm activity. Now, looking at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. This shows you general ridge and trough position. Troughs, clouds, rain, generally cooler, ridges, sinking air, warmer, less clouds, and generally fair conditions. And this gives you a good idea of what is going on. So there goes this system kind of still pushing off to the north and east, spawning some severe weather way out across portions of maybe Chicago, Illinois out there, Wisconsin. That's the state I'm looking for. Way out there. So you have friends and family out there. You probably saw that in the Severe Prediction Center Day 1 Outlook. But anyway, back to California and the West Coast. So this is what's coming this weekend. This is what's known as an inside slider here. It's got this inside trajectory here, and it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, and that's kind of how these things go. But it still can bring some active weather, some gusty winds, some thunderstorm potential, and maybe a little bit of upper elevation snowfall. As you see our ridge pretty dominant here out over the Pacific Ocean, and allows for that north and northwest flow to carve this trough out back across the west coast of North America. That starts to push on through, and you can see the ridge get established a little bit better here towards the state of California, with this low pressure center spinning here across the Intermountain West, spawning some additional rounds of severe weather out across the plains. And then we go into the future. You can see the ridge being flattened out at times, but generally on the higher than normal side of heights. We'll take a look at those temperatures here in a moment on what we can expect. Now let me back that up, and we can see what is going on today. It does show maybe a stray shower across the higher Sierra Nevada there, but not amounting to much. We go through Friday, maybe a little bit more of a bump there, and that's what the SPC shows for potential of a thunderstorm with that activity there. Now, as we go on into the day Saturday, notice the precipitation starts to pick up here, and by Saturday afternoon, some of the higher terrain, and maybe a couple inches, but generally higher snow levels at that. We're not looking at any chain controls or big time delays or anything like that crossing some of the mountain passes out there, but just be aware if you're off across the backcountry and the higher terrain. And you can see the Nevada getting a bump in the precipitation, and not really ringing out much for the Bay Area. A little bit there for maybe Southern California higher terrain as well, but it's kind of trended down here over the last day or so on how much precipitation that system wants to bring with it. We continue to trudge off on in towards next week, and not much in the way of precipitation after that system either. So lightning flash density potential, let's put this into motion. This would be about this afternoon here. You're going to ignore that across Southern California. We're going to go to tomorrow, Friday, and you can see a little blurb of potential here again across maybe some of the Cascades and maybe some of the northern Sierra Nevada, maybe the east slopes getting a stray thunderstorm as well. We go on in through Saturday, and you see that start to pick up a bit here, but Nevada getting the lion's share of that, but still some thunderstorm potential across portions of California as well. And we go on in through Sunday, and you can see that that system is moving off to the east, and there is Monday afternoon, continues off across portions of Colorado and New Mexico, and that is out of our hair Now, lightning flash density potential on the high resolution rapid refresh. So this, let's take a look what it shows for Friday. See, does it show anything for the Sierra Nevada? We go through the afternoon, evening hours. Yeah, it shows something, maybe a thunderstorm out there towards Reno. Again, the east slopes of the Sierra Nevada there as well, but not much to write home about. And then it doesn't go out to Saturday just yet. So total precipitation in inches. And again, I mentioned that the precipitation amounts were backing off as we go through this weekend. I mean, it's taken away a lot of that precipitation. A few tenths of an inch for the Sierra Nevada, maybe a little bit more across northeastern California, and maybe squeezing some precipitation out, a tenth of an inch or two across the higher terrain as we go through the weekend. And let me back that up, and you can kind of see that falling. It looks like probably starting Saturday night, going on to Sunday morning, and then quickly moving out of our area. Not much precipitation to speak of here for the next 144 days, even though we have 144 hours, even though we have that system dropping down across our area. So total snowfall as well, not much to show here, but just showing you we do have the potential for an inch or two across the higher terrain, but not much to speak of. Now, daily 2 meter max temperature, this is today, Thursday, May 15th. You can see we're in squarely in the mid 80s here, some mid and upper 70s maybe for Southern California, except for the immediate coastal areas. We go on in through Friday, there's tomorrow, then we go Saturday. You see the cool down start to happen, drop things off by maybe 5-10 degrees, and we kind of keep things suppressed. We go through Sunday, but then we start to bounce back quite rapidly here as we go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at that, the mid 90s returning, and then you get some warm up here even for Los Angeles, San Diego. The desert's going back over 100 degrees by the time we get towards the mid portion of next week, and we stay pretty warm there through Thursday and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe a little bit of moderation there, but no big cool down after that. Now, more on that here in a moment. Let's take a look at the extended forecast as well. Put this into motion, and here goes our inside slider. There it goes. That's Saturday afternoon, so probably the best chance for some precipitation associated with that system. And then the ridge kind of hanging on here right off the coast of California. It's not exceptionally strong, but it's going to be enough to let things warm up next week. And then we'll see what this next trough wants to do through the extended forecast. Kind of slow moving, carves its way out all the way down across some of the coastal waters there. That would be kind of an interesting system, but it is quite a ways out. We're still looking at a week plus time period off into the extended forecast. So we're just going to kind of watch that for now. It's been hinting at this system though, and we'll see what that does. That would also spawn some severe weather off to the east as well. Now looking at 2 meter temperature anomaly, this is a 5-day running total. So you can see how as we go through next week, we definitely start to warm things up. Look at these temperatures going above normal here, and kind of for a prolonged period as we go towards, about May 26th, May 27th or so. But then if we get that trough, you can see how it cools things back down and starts to bring things down below normal here as we go towards the end of May. So we'll be watching that one closely. That would be kind of a nice cool down. Looking at the newest drought monitor, this was updated today, and the only thing I could really see is we reduced some of this extreme drought across the California-Arizona border, some of the desert areas out there. Looks like they cut back on that a little bit. I didn't see many other changes here though across the Southwest. Looks like they actually extended some of the exceptional drought across portions of Arizona and New Mexico there as well. 6 to 10 day above average signal. That's due to that ridge here off the coastline that goes through May 24th, and that 6 to 10 day, not a good look for much of California or the West Coast. They're below normal precipitation amounts as we go through May 24th. But again, we'll watch because there may be another trough knocking on the door right after this time period. But yeah, anyway, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.